And we're back with some more oxygen not included, and today it's going to be oil biome time. Well, oil biome time and maybe taking care of this giant cloud of carbon dioxide we've sort of been really lazy and let it collect down here. Now, I was going to dig up to space and pump it all up there, but people pointed out that would actually result in lower frame rate as well. I'd be running giant pipes segments all the way from the bottom of the map to the top. So just throw in a bunch of carbon skimmers and that'll get rid of most of the nasty gases. We'll still have to worry about the chlorine and the natural gas, but we can get rid of that later. So what we've got down here is 5 carbon skimmers, 3 coal generators to power it, a water sieve to sieve the polluted water that comes out of it, turning it back into clean, and then that all feeds right back into the system. It's just a slightly larger carbon skimmer setup than we're used to deal with this slightly larger base than we're used to. Once that starts up, we can hopefully start working on this electrolyzer again. This is an awful lot of carbon skimming. That's about 1.5 kilos of carbon dioxide per second. And that should eat through that cloud pretty quickly. I may have gone a little bit overboard on that, just a tad. Alright, and do we have enough? Yeah, all that happens is clean water comes down here, goes into the carbon skimmers, gets turned into polluted water, goes back into the sieve, and just, it repeats ad nauseum. The only thing we're really burning through is filtration medium, which we should have lots of if I'm right. Yeah, 522 tons. Now, I kind of want to build this in oxygen, so I'm going to let some of this scoop out before I activate this. I think we're going to build ourselves our atmosphere docks down here now. That looks like a good start. We're going to need a lot of duplicates to core out the oil biome quickly, so I'm thinking 30 atmosphere docks, though we're going to have to pay the morale costs of having that many dupes, having access to these and getting all the skills up. That's going to take a little bit of work, but for now we'll just concentrate on the construction. Oh, and I gotta fix this over here. I put in the wrong piping. There we go. Now we're draining 1.5 kilos of carbon dioxide a second. Now we'll turn that off as well. No point wasting the oxygen down here. We need it more in this section. Now let's get rid of these plants. This is actually starting to look like an atmosphere dock section. One thing I made sure to do though is I'm going to leave a hole right here. Yep. Oh, we're going to make these out of mesh tiles just in case there's any accidents in the suits. And we're not even going to try and deal with any polluted water that comes out of these suits. If there is accidents, we're just going to let it drop down there and worry about it at a later date. We do not have time. Also, it's weird having to print a dupe every 3 cycles because I feel like I'm on a timer. I've got to get as much done every 3 cycles as possible to prep for the next duplicant and the next duplicant and the next duplicant. This here is going to be our power supply for the water filtration system down here that will give us clean water. That clean water will get pumped into this system up here. This is going to be our bootstrapper to help boot up this entire oxygen setup, though the entire system is still, well, chock-a-block with carbon dioxide. Oh, what's happening there? Why is all that oxygen down there? There shouldn't be any oxygen down there. That oxygen should be floating up through the carbon dioxide. You know what? We'll come back to it. For the time being, we are going to finish off this system down here and get it prepped for startup. Well, we would get it finished if it wasn't time for another duplicate. It's been 3 cycles. Well, this is like a double no-brainer. We don't want a loud sleeper. It's workable, but we don't want one. Bottomless stomach we prefer to avoid because of increased calorie consumption. Irritable bowel is one of the less annoying ones here, but it also comes with +7 animal husbandry. We're going to need a lot of ranchers in this, so say hello to duplicant/patron number 51, Ghostpedia. Well, Ghostpedia, you will get straight into animal husbandry. One thing I forgot to do, that would be atmosuits. Now, looking around, we have plenty of random locations on the map where we've thrown down coal generators. This just happens to be one of them. We've got another section over here that powers something. In fact, I've kind of forgotten what half of them do. This powers our industrial brick. This used to power something industrial. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to throw it down here. We'll put ourselves down an exosuit forge, and we're going to have to start churning them out. How much ingredients do we have? 74 reed fiber. That means we can make about 35 suits. We're going to need a bit more reed fiber than that. We'll just queue up 16 Atmos suits for now. That should be a good way to get started. It's 300 kilos of metal for each one. Refined metal. That's an awful lot of iron. Let's see about getting our Atmos suit section up and running by getting our oxygen production over here up and running. I'm concerned about turning this on now while all of this area is full of chlorine. I'd be worried that would cause overheating issues. Just, carbon dioxide I'm fine with, oxygen I'm fine with. Well, I prefer oxygen in general, to be honest. But you know what? I think we're running out of time. We need to get this this started. This here is going to be a cooling weave, I believe it was called. I saw it in one of the base living videos, so I thought I'd nick the idea. But we'll finish that off later. That's a lower priority for now. We're going to seal this up. We've got water flowing. Where is it? Yep. We've got water flowing into this. This can be hooked up, and we can start pumping oxygen out of this in no time at all. But I think for the disposal of the hydrogen, that's something we're going to change a little bit. Would you look at that? It's been 3 cycles already. Doesn't the time just fly? Well, this one's also a no-brainer. We've got a diver's lung here, and the pacifist is not a bad trait to have, and they're a builder, so we're going to have another construction person. I know we've got a lot of construction people, but we do have a lot of construction projects we're trying to get finished as quickly as possible. So say hello to Emil Terman. Duplicant / patron number 52, well 53 technically, but we're going to stick with the 52 naming convention. Zombie pops will get reborn at the end. We're going to, the first shall be last type of thing. We're going to go a bit biblical on it. So zombie pops will now be the last duplicant to be printed, so they get printed a second time. They'll be zombie pops. Anyway, let's get this finished and get this started up. We are finally ready to activate this, but I think this time we're going to empty it out first. We've got some chlorine and some other nasty gunk in there we'd rather not have lying around. So we'll connect it up to the bootstrapper, and then we are going to set these to rip all the gases out. Would you look at all of that? That is a very, very contaminated area. Just all the random gases. Oxygen, chlorine, and natural gas, and carbon dioxide. Yeah, let's make sure it's nice and clean before we start this up. This always takes a little while, and the question always comes up. You have to run it flat out, make sure it doesn't stop, make sure that the hydrogen has a way out, make sure all the oxygen has a way out, and just let it keep running. There are other ways you can tweak the sensors and actually let the pressure build up differently and fiddle around with it, but I decided against teaching that method because trying to explain that just makes it more complicated. I think it's just easier if you turn it on and run it for a while. And once, as long as you leave it on long enough, that will stabilize. The hydrogen will just take up the top layer. We're almost there. You can see it's kind of walled in all around on the top by hydrogen. Now this oxygen down the bottom, that is slowly going to get sucked out by that gas pump. And once that's gone, we have a clean running system. Come on, hurry up. Oh, do we have idle dupes? No, no idle dupes just yet. Boom. So that's the system fully cleaned out. Time to deconstruct a few things, namely these high pressure gas vents here. We'll let the duplicants get along to that, and then over here we're going to hook this up. Done. We'll also deconstruct that high pressure gas vent. Now all the hydrogen should go out this way. Oh, did we get a little blob of oxygen in there? Yeah, well, okay, there was a pipe right there, so that actually allowed it to hold that little blob of oxygen. It's fine, the rest of it will be all clean. I think that should be us golden. Now once these are deconstructed, come on duplicants, where are you? That will allow all the oxygen to flow down here and into all our Atmos suit docks. And after fiddling around with these and trying all sorts of different methods, the best method, feed it from the front. They're going to take suits, and they will always drop their suits off at the closest dock, which will always be the front ones. So they'll always take suits from the front and drop them off at the front first. Those ones get drained of the most oxygen, and what you'll end up with is the front suits ending up with no oxygen in them all the time. So just run it in through the front. 10 per oxygen line, and you should be good. Is it done? Yeah, I think we are golden. Now, I did a slightly different thing here with the hydrogen reserves. Instead of just having an extra section to burn it off, I've combined the two together. So now, if there's too much hydrogen in the system, we'll actually turn on all the generators, including the ones in here. We're just burning it off. We're not even trying to recycle it or do anything with it, or... Wow, how is that overheating so far? Oh, no, that wasn't the overheating. That was a little blob of oxygen that got in there. It's going to take a little time for the hydrogen to back up in the system and for that to even out, but in the meantime, I have done a little trick to get rid of all of these gases around here. As you can see, it's mostly chlorine now, and most of the carbon dioxide has been pulled over here. But we have installed some airflow tiles here so that any carbon dioxide and chlorine can flow down here into the bottom and go down into this pit, and we've got a gas pump down here. This gas pump we're just going to leave on. It extracts all the gases from here and sends them up through this filter. If it finds any chlorine, it dumps it into this tank. If it's not chlorine, it just gets dumped all the way over here right beside these carbon skimmers. So mostly it's going to be carbon dioxide. There might be the odd bit of polluted oxygen or something like that, but mostly just carbon dioxide. And eventually we should end up with no carbon dioxide and no chlorine down here. And just maybe a little bit of natural gas left over. That should be enough. Now, let's start stocking all of these up with Atmos suits. That will give us about 9 suits to start. I think we're going to have to wait until we've got more suits, though, before we tackle the oil biome. I really do want to smash into it. So let's find another project to keep us busy. You know, I think I have the perfect side project for us to take on while we're waiting. There's a cool steam vent. In fact, there's 2 of them up here. I don't want to tackle this one just yet because I might have to destroy the reed fiber, and we want reed fiber. But this one over here can definitely be cracked open, and we can start going about taming this so we can start extracting the water. We need a lot of water. As if anyone hasn't noticed yet, we're going to be running a lot of electrolyzers. That can be the start of it. From what I recall, well, as far as I'm aware, all the vents, you have to remove this tile here. If you don't remove that tile there, this this tile right there, it can't erupt or do anything. Volcanoes, everything, it's all the same location, that one tile. So we're going to leave that there to prevent it from erupting, and hopefully I've got that right. It's been a while since I've worked with cool steam vents. I've just realised it's just, normally there's now so many water vents on the map, I've never had to bother going back for cool steam vents. I had to go back and look at my own tutorial to figure out how to tame one of these things again. Yeah, we have a good work crew, I noticed. That's a lot of duplicates. Oh my god. You know what, maybe widen that out a bit so they have a larger passage to work with. The hydrogen was being a bit of an annoyance, so I think we'll let that float out the top over there. Ooh, how's our oxygen going over here? Oh, that is just beautiful. Temperature-wise, I think, yep, still golden. All of the oxygen is coming out at somewhere around 0 degrees. We're slowly dragging a whole bunch of chill down here, so let's hope we don't freeze our base too soon. No, it's still... it's about 20 degrees by the time it gets down here. But it's keeping our base nice and chill, pumping in all that nice oxygen. That ice biome is going to serve us well. Anyway, let's get this finished. Would you look at that? It's been another 3 cycles. Let's choose our duplicate number 53. Well, this is a very, very easy choice. We definitely don't want flatulent. Yokel is only minorly annoying sometimes, but I suppose in this case stage of the game, not that much of a problem. So we've got another cook. Say hello to Gerald Parkin. They will be our... I'm not even sure how many cooks that is we've got. We've got 6 cooking stations, actually 7, never mind. I may have went a little bit overboard on that and the temperature's getting a bit toasty around there. But, you know, it's fine. We'll set them up. Over here we're almost ready to get started on this build. Oh, damn it. I put an automation wire through that location and now this thing's activated. Ugh, this is just going to make things more scaldy. Just, yeah. Yep, oh. God damn it. To help deal with the constant scaldings, we're going to install some ice temperature shift plates and just some granite ones for now. And that should hopefully cut down on the scaldings, at least until we get our hands on some diamond and can just seal this off and be done with it. That's my own fault for building an automation wire through the one brick that was stopping it from erupting. But this only another few minutes and we should be good to go. And let's see if all the ice water can outweigh the constant heat erupted by this. You know what? I don't know. I've even sent someone in to analyze the vent because, you know what? If we've gone this far, we might as well. Come on, hurry up, dupes. Poor Picamula. They basically have to analyze it while completely underwater. Also, they're sopping well wet, have hypothermia, holding their breath, and chilly surroundings. Well, at least they've got a skill of... what have they got? Oh, their science has been affected by the hypothermia. Oops. But, you know, they'll eventually get through it. For now, though, we do have to go get our hands on some diamond. I want to get some diamond temperature shift plates for inside here, and the temperature in there has actually been okay once we put in all that ice water. Oh, and we should maybe mop up all this gunk that escaped, just to stop people getting inconvenienced. Now, down here, we finally got all these Atmos suits filled up, and that means we can start using the backup oxygen to pressurize this area. It's actually looking really good. We managed to get rid of that giant cloud of carbon dioxide. It's all been carbon skimmed, and that chlorine is slowly but surely going to get filtered out and dumped into that tank. And all of our Atmos suits are full and ready to go. All we need to do now is put in the Atmos suit checkpoints. Now this always comes up every time. When you've got an Atmos suit checkpoint, make sure you go in here and it's got clearance always permitted. No, just no. Clearance vacancy. Clearance vacancy only means if they come back to the dock and there's no place to put the suits, they won't go past through that dock. This just means what would normally happen is everyone would come back up and they'd immediately go through the nearest dock, and if all of these are full, they'll just drop their suit on the ground. But now, if this dock is full, they'll go to the next one. If the next dock is full, they'll go to the next one. They will always try and find a dock to drop off their suit. However, this can be problematic. For example, if you have you think you've run out of suits or lost one and you add in more suits here. So, for example, there's 5 people already down in the oil biome and you add a couple of suits to the dock. Then when they come back, there's nowhere for them to drop off their suit, and the 2 of them, and the 2 people who still have suits and there's nowhere to drop off, will just stay there. They'll literally stay there until someone else comes along to let them out, or someone else picks up a suit so they can drop off theirs. That can become problematic. Now, we have to do some changes here. When it comes to putting our dupes into exosuits, well, I think we're in luck. Most of our dupes are on 9 morale requirements. That's just because the way it's worked out. We only put them into 3 skills in one area and then 2 skills in improved carrying. So pretty much that's just how everyone's been configured. The only people who don't get that are the cooks. They get grilling, improved supply, and plumbing so that they can tidy up around the place. And the actual carriers, or the people who are gophers who are pulling stuff around the place, they've only got a 6 morale requirement because we only put them into improved carrying and plumbing. That means we can do wonderful things like this. We can just grab Steven here, let's say, and we can give him exosuit training. That puts him up to 12, and that's still well within the morale requirements. So we can just start putting everyone into exosuit training, and we don't have to worry. Critter ranchers, I think we don't have to care about them. You know what? We're going to give them exosuit training because, well, I like simple one-size-fits-all solutions, and everyone's going to get this. We get down as far as Land and Packrat, and unfortunately, they don't have enough points for exosuit training. So everyone Julian and above will be allowed into the exosuit docks. Everyone below Landon will be kept out of the atmosuit docks until we get a few more points. I could keep skipping on and get other people into it. There's a few here that could get into exosuit training, but you know what? That would just require me to keep track of way too much. So instead, we're just going to stop at Landon, and we'll come back later when everyone's skilled up. Then you get your door settings. We've got a door right here leading into the oil biome, and then we're just going to set the default permissions to no one is allowed through. And then unfortunately we have to go through and do this. Actually wait, there's a better way to do this. If we just set everyone as default permission allow, we can just keep clicking on them like this and keep going down through the list. Until of course we get to Landon. There, everyone above Landon is now allowed access, and then we take away that. That means any new spawns won't be able to get in, and no one below them can access the atmosuit docks. We just don't want that because it will slow them down an awful lot. You get a -6 to athletics, and considering how slow and how poorly our duplicants are at pretty much everything, yeah, we're going to want to do that. Now we have a perfectly sealed way to get in here. The temperatures down here are lovely and toasty, 100 degrees. So let's go down and start ripping apart the oil biome as quickly as possible. Oh, that. This is going to be an annoyance. We're going to have to diagonally kill that. As in, we'll sort of build bricks diagonally. You know what? Let's just brick all of that in like that now. We're going to brick that whole thing in from the diagonally without going in there because we do not want to let those out. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I'd rather not have a bunch of zombie spores around the place. While we're down here, we get one of the little puzzle point... Oh, and we've got a printable. We have a choice between two duplicants. One of them has a bottomless stomach. We'd prefer not to have that. So the other one has noodle arms, which perfectly livable with, and mole hands and supplying. Oh, the noodle arms will actually reduce their ability to carry stuff, but the strength will increase it. So, yeah, they're going to end up a carrier one way or the other. Say hello to duplicant/patron number 54, Matthew Creamer. Alright, and before we get around to assigning his points, we're going to look at this puzzle here. This is one of these puzzles they give you where if you flick the switches in the right order, you can make all the gates trigger to open the door. Or we could just get this one, which is already an AND signal, and connect it up to that. And that should, yeah, immediately open the door for us. Technically cheating, but, you know, I don't care. And then we can just dismantle this whole thing. While we were down here, we managed to pick up 22 tons of diamond so far, which is excellent. We're going to need that for our little steam cooling device over here. Wow, the game is a little bit sluggish, but yes, over here. I've already stuck in sort of an array of temperature shift plates, but they're all made out of granite. Let's throw in a few that are made out of diamond to help out with the temperature transfer. That should be about right. Okay. Once that's done, I think once those are in, we can seal this up and actually start processing the water. The water from that is going to have to go in an insulated pipe all the way... Oh, God. I'm going to have to find some way to get that all the way back down to here. That's going to be a fun run of piping. Ugh, I'll figure that out later. I'm not going to worry about it. We're also going to have to do something similar to this, but not until that ice biome melts, and we're also going to have to do this one. I'm going to have to tap into all the sources of water as quickly as I can now because we are going to start chewing through our water supplies at a rapid rate. We're already at, what, 50 plus duplicants? And it's only going to get worse. We're going to be up to 60 by the end of this episode. And over here, we're just going to diagonally crush everything related to this flower. I do not want to deal with these things. Zombie spores are very unpleasant. So we'll dig in and just diagonally build the tiles. It should take more than... Okay, well, someone's going to build that. You know what, we'll make them high priorities just to make sure they get done quickly. And that way they should focus on getting those done first. Oh, there we go. So they kill that diagonally and then put in the tile to push all the gases out of the way. Same again down here and same again up top. And then we just, well, move forward a little bit more and keep repeating the process until we've got the whole thing crushed. Time consuming, but a nice way to get rid of them. So close. Just that would be nice to get rid of because then we can just demolish the rest of this oil biome. I don't see any more of those flowers around the place. But I suppose we'll find out as we dig. Another thing to bear in mind is the temperature of the abyssalite down here. You'll see this stuff is 1300 degrees and all that. It says it doesn't transfer temperature because it's got no thermal conductivity, but if you let oil touch that, you're going to have a sour gas explosion. Unless they've patched it. I don't believe they have, but if anyone knows if they have, just let me know in the comments. But as far as I'm aware, it's still, yeah, it's still a bad idea to let really hot abyssalite touch your oil. Let's get some more of this done. Oh wait, no, we'll just we'll finish off a little bit of this, and then we'll finish off the steam vent tamer up top. Perfect, all done. all of those nasty germs completely annihilated by being compressed into nothing. We can still get the flour out though if we want. Now, ooh, there's another oil well. Perfect. We should have 3 oil reservoirs on this map. However, that's enough of that. Let's go over here to our steam vent. Okay, 2 more of these are left to be done. Once those 2 are done, we should be good to switch this sucker on. We've installed a quick power supply over here. We're going to pump out all the gases out of this section. We don't want any oxygen in here. We should be able to strip this out pretty quickly. Who made a mess? Oh. Damn it. Well, in that case, let's start our deconstruction project, shall we? Let's deconstruct that, shall we? And we're going to drop you out of there. Yeah, there's nowhere to go anymore. You're going to have to fall. Well, thank God we've got a pit there to drop all that polluted water in. Nice. Problem solved. Yeah, well, we've been busy up top. I have been queuing up a few commands down here just to help clear out the oil biome. They were doing it in record time, I have to admit. I suppose having this many duplicates really is beneficial in a lot of ways. Let's go back up top and find out what's happening with their steam vent. Dear Lord. The map is also very slow to scroll, very slow to move. Everything is getting chuggish, and I think we just... Yep, we're on to our next printable. This one here looks like a perfectly great mechatronics engineer. Please say hello to James Wilson, duplicant/patron 55. Damn, okay, this is going to be... We're only 5 duplicants in. This episode's already overtime. To help extract the water out of this, or to extract it, we had to build a pipe. That pipe is going to be a long one. It will go all the way down here, all the way across here. Oh, is anyone finished with that? Come on. Yeah, there's 2 segments there to go, and then it's going to drop down here into this water tank. We could probably... Damn it, why is that falling there? Yeah, that's falling on top of our desalinator. That was a mistake. We'll put the mesh tile there that allow the water to fall through. Okay, with all of that done, we should be just about ready to get this started. We'll just fill the rest of this up with water. All the water filled in, steam turbine about to go in. We're going to stick in a jumbo battery here for reasons that might become obvious later, or maybe not. We're going to use this to fill some polluted water into our cooling loop. We've got this cooling loop here that's got to go around, and we need to stick something in it, so polluted water is our coolant of choice. Now, this is going to power everything. This powers the aqua tuner, it powers the doors, it powers the liquid pump, all of that. However, this steam turbine is going to kick in occasionally. Oh, 1 second, let's make sure that doesn't dump in any more than we need. So this steam turbine is going to kick in occasionally, and when it does, it's got to have somewhere for the power to be stored. So I decided to stick a jumbo battery here. So if this generates any excess power that can't be stored in the smart battery, it'll just get dumped into the jumbo, and, you know, at least we're not wasting energy. Water is going on to the link. You know what? I think we're definitely going to need some more polluted water in there. Yeah, definitely. Once Rect finishes the steam turbine, we should have most of that complete. Come on. What's the water at? The water's at 29 degrees. That's why it's not actually kicking in. But that's pretty much it. Oh, joy of joys. More duplicates. Up to 56. Right. What have we got here? No thank you. Mouth breather. No thank you. Biohazardous. Yep, we'll take it. We've got ourselves another artist. Say hello to duplicant number 56, TB Schmidt. Schmidt or Schmidt? 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 You know what? We're going to go with Schmidt. Probably German. They're going to be our newest decorator. Welcome to the team. Now, over here, this has finally filled. Well, this loop has finally filled. So let's go over the settings. We're going to set the temperature in here to, if the temperature is above 20, you're going to activate, and that aqua tuner there will cool down this loop. So the water in here will be kept at about 20 degrees, and it's going to stabilize by passing through here. This is sort of a chill tank. So this here will slowly get driven down to it's about 20 degrees, and when it is, it'll stop cooling. Whenever this gets too warm in here, and by I say too warm, above 95C. If it goes above 95, you know what, let's make it 94. We want to be safe here. If it goes above 94 degrees, these doors will engage, dragging chill from this side into the other side. Well, if you want to be physics inclined, cold is the absence of energy, so we're actually dumping energy from this side to the other. But I prefer the dragging cold analogy across, it just sounds nicer. But that will jump chill into this cold water, and this sort of cold water acts as a stabilizer. Any steam that comes out of this, the moment it does, it hits the temperature shift plates, gets turned into water, drops straight down into this water tank, and then gets sucked out by this liquid pump. Liquid pump is activated by that hydro sensor right here. This hydro sensor just detects when the water here goes above 900 kilos. Once it goes above 1,000, it'd start getting into these next tiles and blocking the vent, which we don't want. So instead, the water is dumped out by this liquid pump before that gets a chance to happen. And then it goes all the way down here, all the way across, and dumped into our water tank down here where things get really complicated and confusing. There's 3 different types of water in here. You know what? We don't care. It's all good. Probably. Alright, with all that done, let's have a quick look at the oil biome, because the oil biome has been mostly devastated this... Yep, we took most of it. We took an awful, awful, awful lot of it here. We've still got a bunch to go over here, and we found ourselves another vent. It's a chlorine vent. Yay! Unfortunately, that's not water, and oh, I've just noticed there's another vent there. We're going to have to go down and find out what it is. Please be a cool slush geyser, or a water vent, or a polluted water vent, or any source of water at all would be amazing. In fact, I am going to make that our, maybe not our number one priority, but a priority to go in and get there. The number one priority right now is we need more bedrooms. We have run out, I think. Have we? 8, 16, 32, 48, and another 8 down there is 56. Right, yes, we have. We have literally run out of bedrooms. I say we just stick in another bunch here at the back. You know what? We'll put some ladders in the middle. Then we'll deconstruct this. There we go. That should solve our bed problems for another 24 duplicants. Okay, all of that done. Oil biome has been demolished, mostly. Though, oh yes, I love that oil just pouring all the way down. That looks actually beautiful. Let's get rid of this. The duplicants can take care of that. What leaves us with how much over... Oh, nope, there's plenty of fossil and lead up there that we would totally love. That should be that solved. That just leaves this area over here. Ooh. I think that ice biome actually... Oh, and there's the other anti-interference nullifier. That ice biome is touching the oil biome. That's why it's not so hot over here. That might have been nice to know. We could have came in and got some oil. Oh, you live and you learn. That should give them something to do in their spare time. Okay, with all of that done, we then need to start worrying about space. It's time to start digging up here and finding out what else is around. Oh no, wait. That was it. We wanted to find out what was in this vent down here. Now, we're probably going to have to come in from the top. I can't really see a way of coming in from the bottom without dumping a whole bunch of water into the oil biome. So, yeah, we'll come in across here and dismantle it. Unfortunately, we have run out of time to do that because it's time for another printable. We've got noodle arms and allergies. Both are perfectly fine. Mole hands and twinkle toes. Both are good. You know what? Suit wearing and research? That would make a very good astronaut at a later date. So say hello to duplicant patron number 57, Jason Stewart. Jason, you will probably be ending up in a rocket at some point, but that is going to be a distant, 15, 20, maybe 30 duplicants away. We have finally started going on to 6 duplicants per schedule. It's getting a little bit toasty in here, or just there's an awful lot of duplicants running around the place, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. Everything's sort of getting a bit chuggish. Duplicants take time between every action. They sort of pause, and we can't really figure out what to do. To be expected, there's an awful lot going on with this many things. I might need to upgrade my PC before the end of this. Well, that didn't last long. Okay, that is most of that demolished up until here. Now we just got to get in here and get to this vent. I was trying to put a ladder right down here. So this is a squat vent. It could be carbon dioxide, it could be polluted water, it could be anything, but it's a squat one, it's not one of the tall ones, because we can't place a ladder segment over the far edge. For example, if we just grab a ladder segment here, you can see you can't place a ladder segment anywhere on the bottom 4 tiles. Nice. Let's see what we got. We haven't quite had time to get there just yet. We've got to print someone. Looking at these, I'd prefer not to get the narcoleptic. This could be a good machinist, but then we've got this one here. It's got science and supply. You know what? Yeah, we'll take him. Say hello to Ed Anderson. They are our duplicant / patron number 58. Oh god. Wait, let me set up their skills. Alright, we finally have made it. Let's see what this vent has in store for us. Come on, hurry up. I want to see. And leaky oil fissure. God damn it! Well, yeah, that was a big waste of digging. Buggery. Well, it was worth having a look. I was really hopeful we'd get something decent there. I'll let them finish off that construction project, but I think that was a bit of a bust. We wasted a lot of time getting down there and a lot of hypothermia. How much hypothermia? Sorry, Stephen. Flavor Jeans. Epsilon 4 got slime lung. Jenny Mort got hypothermia. Tim Coultos hypothermia. Emil Terman got hypothermia. Yeah, it's... Ooh, who's getting starvation? Where are you, Epsilon? Oh, yeah. They're taking so long to get back because they're actually sick at the moment. So they're going to keep sneezing all the way back. I'll keep an eye on them and make sure they make it back alive. They're fine. They've got some mushrooms into them. They're all good. Alright, what does that leave us with? Well, we've demolished most of this side of the map. Let me have a check around and see what's left. Most of the oil biome is done. All that's left is this over here. Oh, I love the way they can sneeze inside their Atmos suits. I'm leaving the bottom here because I want all this oil to pool towards the center, and we're going to have to use that for something in a bit. But for now, I'm just going to finish off dealing with all these gases down here. There's a whole bunch of the stuff is mostly gone, but we're going to take all the chlorine we've collected, dump it into these 5 gas tanks, and then we've got a whole bunch of gas tanks. Where are they? Over here. We're going to dump them through the same filtration system and make sure we get rid of all the carbon dioxide and just leave ourselves with the chlorine. And with all of that done, that means we should probably get around to taming this other steam vent. The more water we have, the better. We're already at 58 duplicants, so more water equals more oxygen. Let's turn this into, well, let's get this cool steam vent tamer started. Exact same thing as the previous one we just built, only we're doing it just in a mirror image. Same thing, different location. This time we are going to wait until the steam vent is going, well, is stopping. Right now it has just finished erupting, so hopefully we can get in there, throw in some ice temperature shift plates to prevent the scaldings, and get everything finished and get out of there really quickly. We're probably going to have to live through one, and we've got new printables. Damn, time flies. Well, we do not want a mouth breather, which leaves us with these two. We've already got too many cooks. You know what? We need another artist on the team. Why not have 3? Say hello to K, duplicant/patron number 59. Jeez. Alright, but let's get this finished really quickly. We may have had a few scaldings. Like, okay, quite a few scaldings. Sorry, Emile Tremaine. Sorry. But we've got a lot of construction going on, and hopefully we'll get this finished before this thing erupts again, which would be very inconvenient if it did so. We were close. We were real close, but we didn't quite make it. Though there is a few temperature shift plates made out of ice left. Come on. Picamula has finished the analysis. Let's see what... we'll work out the water at the end of this and see how much water we've got to play with. Oh, and that temperature shift plate finally went. You know what? We'll put in another diamond one right there, and then we can seal this up. Same thing again. We drop in a blob of polluted water here. We vent out all the gases. Then we're going to fill this up with more clean water. Then we're going to have to dump some polluted water in here to fill the vent, or not fill the vent, fill the cooling loop. Let's hope we didn't miss anything. Automation wires? Yep, we're good. We would be done already if people would come along and drop off some polluted water. They keep dropping off little grams of polluted water. I think there's just little bottles of polluted water everywhere that got mopped up when we were demolishing slime biomes. And now they're just taking their time bringing them over a little piece at a time. Come on, just give me a few 100 kilos. A couple 100 kilos of water and we'll be done. We are so close to finishing this. We just need a little bit more polluted water, but... another printable is available, so let's see what we got. Well, Flatulent is right out. That leaves these two. I think we'll go with another builder. I mean, we have so many. Why not? Once they stop building, we can put them to other things. And I'd like to say hello to our newest duplicant/patron at number 60. It is... yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair. I'm Irish. You know, we're going to go with Wojciech Simski. Okay, that's it. Yep, let's moving along. Thanks for that. We'll just get this finished. Just while that finishes up, one thing we want to get done on the side is we're going to start installing aero pots. These things are like regular hanging pots, except they give it an enormous amount of decor, just all on their own. That should give us a nice healthy decor boost. It won't be the best, but 180? Yeah, that'll at least grab a few more points of morale for everyone and make sure their stress levels remain low. Extra morale, make sure there is a stress reducer. Oh, perfect. We'll just copy those over. We don't need any more polluted water. I think our loop is full. Yes, mop that up. Finished. We have now tamed both steam vents. That puts us on how much water, actually. I've examined this one, and we've examined this one over here. However, there's a third one down here. Wait, nope, we've examined that one as well, and we've examined the saltwater geyser. Let me do some quick math. By quick math, I mean I installed the geyser calculator, which tells me the average output of each one. So that's 3.22 kilos, 1.24. This one over here is 1.19, and this one over here is 1.76. So on average, we'll get about 7.4 kilos of water. We need to feed 140, well, to give enough oxygen to 141 duplicants, we would need 15.8 kilos of water. We have about half as much water as we're going to need. Yes, that's going to be very interesting. How we're going to magic up another 7.5 kilos of water is going to be tricky. Unless, of course, there is another bunch of water geysers out there. I mean, I think space is about here, so we don't really have that much space left to play with. I think exploration is the name of the game. Next episode, we're just going to hammer out all of this and see where we are. Oh, and we're also going to have to get our hands on some shovel holes and start ranching them. and maybe throw together a quick petroleum boiler just for power. Though I'm really not sure we should. If we throw together a petroleum boiler, it may just eat into our already reduced frame rate. Oh, and we also need to expand out our dining room areas. It turns out we've only got about 4 seats left, and we've got 10 more people to hire. Oh, that's one thing to note, by the way. I'm trying to get in 10 people per episode. Sorry about the delay in getting these out. It's just, I like to keep the quality as good as I can. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.